Hey, this is Waylon from Swiftwood Bows, and today I just want to do a short video on how to get the most out of a large Osage stave that you might come across. Um, Sometimes when you get a big piece of Osage, if you haven't done splits before on it, the temptation can be just to get one bow out of it, which might not be a bad idea, but sometimes the stave will allow you to split it into multiple smaller staves so you can get more bows out of it. So this stave here in particular I thought would make for a good video. Let's see, it's got nice fat rings, it's got a nice wedge shaped profile, and it's about as good as you get. Nice, straight and clean. So my goal here is I'm going to do a belly split somewhere along this. I might even bring it down a little bit to make sure that I've got enough thickness on these. But the nice thing about Osage is that the back of the bow is a single heartwood growth ring, and so you can take a split off the belly of an Osage stave and follow one of these rings here to be the back of this bow and still have enough wood to get one or even two staves out of the top part of the wood. So that's my goal on this. The temptation is sometimes to be greedy and try to get more out of a stave, and sometimes it pays off and sometimes you end up with less bows than you were hoping for, and so it's always a gamble. Even with a stave like this, I might not get 3 staves out of it. I might just get 2. You never know exactly where the split's going to travel. You can usually predict it fairly well, but sometimes you get surprised. So just keep that in mind, and you want to determine whether you're going to have ready access to more Osage if it messes up. If you just shipped in a single premium Osage stave at great expense and you're not expecting to get any more, maybe it is the best idea to just get that one for sure bow out of it. But sometimes the risk can pay off. This was just a handful of staves that I've split into quite a few, and some of them are marginal, but there's some really good ones in there. So I definitely feel like it paid off for me to do all that splitting. It's always a good idea to wear safety glasses when you're working with splitting tools, especially if you're hitting metal on metal. I've just got some kind of cheap little camp hatchets that I don't mind getting beat up. Got a big wedge here and a sledge. So on this, I'm going to start with this belly split here. So you kind of want to get the axe lined up with the ring that you want to be following. It doesn't always follow it perfectly, but you just kind of got to do your best. I'm going to go a little bit lower than my line to ensure that these staves have the thickness that they need. So you just get it lined up good, and you get your axe started. Good thing is Osage splits pretty easily, especially when it's seasoned. Not like elm or hickory or wood like that. So I'm just taking a look now and seeing if it's splitting where I want it to. Coming up a little higher on the edge here than I would have liked, but that's just because these rings are so rounded. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this next axe and start the split down a little bit lower. It's already kind of cracking there because it wants to. So I'm going to kind of control how this is traveling down the stave if I can. It's looking pretty good. It's going right where I want it to. So I'm just going to hopscotch these hatchets and wedges down the length until it comes out the other end. Sometimes it's helpful to chop through these connective pieces here. Alright, almost there. Alright, so I got a perfect belly split. This is more than enough to make a good bow out of. Sometimes little knots get revealed that you didn't know were there. This just has a couple knots that aren't going to hurt anything on an Osage bow. So this is a perfect belly split here. I'm going to set this over here. Let's see. We can get another good split here. Right here on my line. It's splitting right down the middle where I want it to. Alright, that one almost felt like cheating compared to some of these others that I've done. But you can see that now I've got 3 perfect Osage staves instead of just one massive one that was going to take a lot of work to remove the excess wood on. So as you can see, with just a few minutes of work and minimal hand tools, I was able to turn a big bulky stave into 3 perfect staves. And this, I'd say, it was kind of best case scenario. It was a perfect straight stave with no twist, no knots. Use your judgment. If it just doesn't feel good or it doesn't feel right trying to run these splits and you're worried about ruining the stave, then don't do it. work with what you've got and get one good bow out of that stave instead of possibly none, or two marginal bows. But on the other hand, this can be a great way to maximize the amount of bows you can make out of your stave collection. So don't be too scared. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your own projects.